What's up, dudes? Chooch back with another one. A 130 mile review on the M10-4. That's a weird number, but that's the mileage I got on it right now. And I wanted to give y'all a follow-up on how it's working so far and how I've been liking it. To report back to y'all, I really enjoyed this thing and it's working great. You still see that. The only thing I've done to it is I put a little bit of slime in the tire, because one thing that you'll notice about this wheel is that because it is a tubeless tire, you'll need to run a higher tire pressure to not get leaks over time. It'll hold air fine for a few days, but in order to not get leaks over time, you need to get that green tire slime and get just a little bottle. I'll link it in the comment below or in the description. Just get one of the little bottles of it. It's like $7, and then put like a quarter of it in here, and then pump it up to about 43 psi. I have mine at about 43 psi right now, and it pushes the tire out. You'll notice that on these tubeless tires, you get kind of like a bulge in the middle effect, and you want that. That's the way these tires are designed to ride. But that little bit of slime in there helps you run it at a lower pressure than the recommended 50 psi. So if you run it at the recommended 50 psi, you won't get slow leaks over time. But in order to decrease the tire pressure to make it ride better off-road and have it at the pressure I have it at, which is 43, you're going to need a little bit of tire slime in there, which is no big deal at all, and it prevents flats. I did this about 2 weeks ago, and it's holding firm at 43 still. So I love this little wheel. So it's riding great so far. Or still riding great. You see my tire pressure, it's not low, but it's also not too high. Check that out in there. See that? Alright, let's go hit some jumps on the M10. Let's do it. Okay, so I want to try to hit this jump on the M10-4. It might be an absolutely horrible idea, but I'm going to see if it'll work. I think I can do it. Honestly, I think I can get enough speed on the M10 to clear this gap. This will probably be one of the biggest jumps on the M10 ever done, so let's try it. And one of the biggest M10 jumps on dirt. Let's try it real quick. It worked. It worked. Bro, that's crazy. That's a big gap to send on the M10. Oh, dude, that's so much fun. That's awesome. That's so much fun. Look at that. M10 gaps, bro. That's sick. The M10. This is so doable, but I might tear up the M10 if I do this. Let's try it real quick. This is a mega gap to send for the M10. There's no way. No way. Look at that. That's crazy, bro. M10 mega gaps, man. That's a trip. Oh, that was terrifying, bro. That little thing yeeted it off of that. Okay. So I'm going to attempt to send the M10 over one of the biggest gaps that has probably ever been jumped on an M10. check this out. You can angle the headlight on this thing too. You see that? Isn't that cool? So if you want to angle it down for more better light the trails, or angle it up. Cool little feature. Not a lot of people know about on the M10. So I might angle it down like that. That's cool. Alright, so my review of the Mten 4 is, for $1,000 you can't beat this thing. I had a buddy come over and he rode all my other wheels and he was like, man, he was a new rider, so it's his first wheel he was buying, and he said he was going to buy an M10, and the next day he's like, hey man, I'm using your affiliate link, which one should I use? I'm getting the M10. So he bought the M10 and he's super excited about it, and I love this thing, guys. For $1,000, when you look at all the other stuff out there, like the one wheel pint, everything like that, that's so much more expensive than this thing. And for what you get with this, dudes, it's just so much fun and it rides great. I think anybody can get the hang of it quick, and it's held up to abuse, man. Like, this thing is literally held up better than the T4 I had that had full suspension in it. And I've ridden this thing hard and abused it, and a lot of people thought that me getting a wheel like this and hitting jumps with it and riding it in snow and all that would end up tearing it up, but it's held up great, guys. So I can recommend it to you. For $1,000 I think it's a steal. It really is. And if you don't have one, if it's you're thinking about getting your first EUC, I had a buddy that tried all my other wheels in there, and then he went and said, hey, just because this one's $1,000, he wanted something. Basically, in his scenario, he lives in a neighborhood right behind the restaurant he owns, and he wanted something just to be able to get on to ride up to work real quick and not have to drive the truck every day. So honestly, I think it's a lot of fun for what you get, man. You got like a full LCD panel on the top right there. It's lightweight, portable. The carry handle on the top is, you know, easy to carry the wheel with. It's nice. Got a kickstand built in. I love the rear tail lights on it. Metal construction around the whole thing. Your headlight on this thing is super bright. Check it out. And then you can turn your headlight. You can angle it whichever way you want. Right there. You can angle it all the way down if you really wanted to, or all the way up. And if you press it again, it flashes. So if you're riding at night, you can get people's attention. Overall, I think it's an outstanding little wheel. This thing's awesome. It's so much fun, dude. It shreds. I should pick one up if you can. Choo! Mten 4, baby. This is the Mten 4 right here. This is a little 10-inch electric unicycle from the company called Be Goat. And this thing right here is at a crazy good price point at only $1,000. And for what you get, man, this thing is just, it's totally shreddable. I think it's a great first wheel for a lot of people out there that want to get into the hobby after riding it now. I got about 130 miles on it. I've been riding it in the city, trail riding it, jumping it, riding it in snow, everything. And man, for $1,000, you really can't beat this thing. It says right on the front, 750 watt hours. Got this crazy cool adjustable headlight on there, this big. It comes with these nice metal pedals, which you want in an electric unicycle. You can get it fitted with a nice knobby tire on there. Has a full kind of metal design to it. If you check this out, I'll turn the light off so it doesn't blind you. And then check this out. When you turn it on, so you got this kind of a backlight blue in there, kind of a metal design on the whole front right here. If you check that out. But overall, the build quality on this thing's incredible for the price you pay. I think if you're riding it hard in the city, you should be able to get about 25 miles of range out of it. And you should be able to go about 27 miles an hour top speed if you're a rider under 200 pounds.
Oh, that's so much fun
on this thing, and it'll get up there. And honestly, guys, the battery life on it is really good. I've been getting way more range than I ever thought I would out of something this small, and it's a total blast. It really is. You can't go wrong with it. The back right there, this is your brake light. It's kind of funky, but it's really cool. I like it. It's bright, stands out. Got big side plates on this thing to accept all the power pads you would really want to put on here. Has a built-in kickstand. You just lean it back on two little prongs right there on the back. Good to go. But overall, I think it's great, man. And for $1,000, I don't see why anybody wouldn't get one. It's just so much fun. It just is a blast. If you guys are interested in one, the link's below to pick up one. Help me out. And they're from whatever company you want to get one from, guys. If you want to get one from E-Wheels, Alien Rides, whichever one has one in stock closest to you, whatever it may be. But use the links below if any of my videos inspired you to pick up one of these, because I am loving this little thing. I even reached out to the company. I was like, hey, I reached out to E-Wheels. I was like, hey, man, you know, I really want one of those M10s myself. I'm willing to even just buy one right out. I was about to spend $1,000 and buy one myself, and I was just seeing if I could get like a little discount on it or whatever. And they ended up sending one out to me. But I've had a total blast on it, and that just goes to show that I would have bought one myself, even if I didn't get one sent to me like as like a deal from any of the companies. Like, I'm being completely real with y'all. I wanted to get one. I'm not just trying to post this because it's a novelty item and I'm saying, you know, like I'm trying to sell you on something you're not going to use or whatever. I think you'll use this way more than you think, because you can ride it all around the house. You can keep it in your truck or your car, and it doesn't take up any space. So if you go somewhere that you traditionally wouldn't take your wheel with you, and you just have this in your car charged up and ready to go, you can go 25 miles of just EUC riding wherever you want to go, man. You just pop up somewhere if you go, you know, shopping or something, and you really aren't interested in the shopping and going on, you can go EUC riding. You got 25 miles or whatever, just pop it out of your car and go for a cruise around, no problem. But this thing's great, man, and I think anybody would love one. I think a first-time EUC rider or a veteran seasoned rider would like it. I just think this thing's for a rider under the let's just say under like 240 pound mark, I would say. If you're pushing 240 pounds, I wouldn't be getting this little thing, just because it's such a small wheel, and just the diameter of the motor. It's a powerful motor and everything, but if you're a heavier person, it's like over 240 pounds, you can just get too much weight, you know, going forward on this thing. And it's just it is a powerful wheel, but I just don't see it holding like, I don't think you could hit the jumps and stuff like I've been hitting if you were like 240 pounds or so. But for kids, man, golly, if you have a kid, this is the ticket right here, man. For $1,000, this thing is powerful. You see me hitting jumps on it, landing on it, and it's holding up fine. So this is the ultimate wheel for anybody that's under like the age of like 15 years old. And then, like, you know, around the 15, 16 mark or whatever, I'd probably be looking at like, you know, like a S18 or something like that. And then any farther, I'd be looking at a bigger wheel, you know, getting into a bigger wheel. But I think this thing's great, man, and it's held up. You see it still works. This is no BS. It still works. So look at that mud chunks coming out of the back of it right there from my little kickstand on it. But anyways, dudes, it's been Chooch. I'm having a blast with this thing. If y'all want to pick one up, again, links below. Click them, and make sure you use the links though if you want to pick one of these up, because if you just buy one from one of the retailers because I recommended it, it doesn't help me out at all. Make sure you use those links if you want to help me out. But anyways, dudes, I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Happy wheeling.